Your Property Podcast comes to you with thanks to our friends at Trafalgar Square Finance, leading independent specialists in mortgages and all types of property finance. Whether it's buy-to-let, development or bridging finance, Trafalgar Square can help you organise your funding for your next property project. Exclusively to listeners of Your Property Podcast, Trafalgar Square offer a free one-to-one consultation. So whether you are a portfolio landlord looking to raise funds on your existing portfolio, or if you're just starting out and want to find out if you are eligible for a buy-to-let mortgage, Trafalgar Square Finance can help. It's easy to book with one of their experienced consultants by simply visiting yourpropertynetwork.co.uk/finance. You can find this link in the show notes for more details.
Hello and welcome to Your Property Podcast. My name is Michelle Kearns and today we've got with us Darcel Washbourne. Hi Darcel.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Great, everyone. It's a real pleasure to have you. We've got some interesting angles to be talking about today, and we've invited you on because unlike most people who are just trying to kind of figure out their gold mine area and where they should invest, probably within half an hour of where they live typically, or perhaps some people who are investing a bit further away. So for example, a lot of people from down south London area are investing up north for better yields and better cash flow. You're a bit further afield than that, aren't you? So tell us where are you at the moment?
So I'm in Dubai, and I've been here actually for 9 years, and it's home for me. It's 100% home for me. But it's not the only place where I take my investing. I invest in South Africa as well, which is even further. To be honest, about 12 hours from the UK by flight. So Dubai has been a fantastic base for me, and this is where I am.
Okay, and how did you end up investing in the UK and in South Africa and ended up in Dubai? Just give us a brief sort of overview.
Well, actually, just I was living in London for a while, and I thought, oh gosh, I need to get out of this hectic London life. I need to grow a little bit more and see the world. So I saw this amazing post because I'm actually a private governess. I work for a high net worth family, and that's I work for the children, and I saw a beautiful opportunity for me to come here and earn a tax-free salary, which has been the number one benefit of me actually getting onto the property, to grow my property portfolio, is having that element that I know that I can retain everything and invest it as much as I can. So with that, Dubai was just a fantastic platform for me to get the ball rolling. And with South Africa, I thought, well, we've got the South African rand, which is pretty weak. And how about starting there? Because it's one of the most popular tourist destinations in the world in terms of the whole of Africa. It's so serene, it's beautiful, you've got the nature, and people's money stretches really far. So I thought, how about I start my property journey there within Cape Town and then just expand it. And I'm really fortunate to have acquired a couple properties. And then from that, go into the UK with my JV partner group.
And why did you kind of switch to the UK? So you've got a couple up and running in Cape Town, and then why the UK?
Because I know that my whole family are there. I know that one day, you don't live forever in these kind of places, such as Dubai. You're never fully a resident of the place. I'm on a visa here, so I need to have a solid base, and that 100% would be the UK. That's where I have, like I said, my family connections, my friends, and I just thought, okay, that will make a great pension investment. Even if I had to cash out all my properties, I know that either I could live in South Africa or I could live somewhere in Asia. So it just gives me that extra benefit to stretch my money much further and also reap the rewards as well, because I see the UK as being not only just a solid base, but just giving me a better result for my money, just growing it.
Yeah, that returns definitely.
Mm-hmm,
so
exactly.
In terms of obviously, you've been very strategic about living in Dubai and then being able to save the money to invest it. But what I'm really interested in is how you've actually managed to invest in these, places and just invest remotely, really. So how does that work in practice? How do you find the properties? How do you, get the contractors and get them up and running and manage them?
I'll just start with my South Africa properties. So I have 4 properties in Cape Town, and I source them myself because it was fairly easy with the amazing currency exchange rate. I didn't feel like I had to look for below market value deals. It was pretty straightforward for me. I just sought out excellent areas. So I looked for something that was very central, so tourists can go to, people have the access, because South Africa, for the average South African, is quite expensive. So I wanted a base where people knew that people could just simply walk to work, or they could drive the car a short distance without getting stuck in too much traffic. So for me, I took it on the basis of understanding the area, and then just accelerating that with finding out major businesses within that area, of course, and how tourists would definitely flock to these areas. And then moving on to like the UK as well, I wanted to invest in places that allowed me, because my first strategy is, of course, looking into serviced accommodations. I wanted to be a pinpoint for people to come there and feel like they could just jump on a bus, jump on a train, and it's just pretty much central. And my number one tips, of course, is for getting started in that, is having a property or like a power team in place, understanding your goals, understanding how you want your targets, how you want, what kind of rewards, are you looking for cash flow, looking for the property to grow in value over a period of time. And then, like I said, getting that power team in place, and just building relationships. I think that's the most important thing. Like I had estate agents that I talked to, and I built that rapport. So I have somebody on the ground that I could just pick up the phone and go, oh, there's an issue here. And that person is ready. And because we've built this respect for one another. So I think those are the top tips that I use for really building, getting the groundwork in place.
So how do you build these relationships when you're, in a different country? And especially with, agents, it's quite a transient job. That lots of them are kind of coming and going. But if you're not physically there and you've never seen the properties that you're buying, then have you seen the ones in Cape Town? Have you
Actually, I've seen one. I also have another in Johannesburg, actually, but like I said, I have somebody to view the properties, and it has come, and the best thing, it comes from recommendations from other people. So, when you join online property network groups, you kind of keep in contact with people, and you're able to get recommendations, even from friends. I have friends who invested in property, and his mom was actually a property sourcer, and she would also look after the properties for whoever wanted to join her network. So, through that, building that trust, or we call wasta in Dubai, having those connections, those are fundamental in me moving forward, for sure. So that was just a great stepping stone in having to have going back to what I said, that groundwork. And, with the estate agents, I appreciate what they do for me, and I acknowledge them. Even email, we'll always say, I'm grateful, I appreciate what you do for me. And if they do a fantastic job, I send them flowers, because who doesn't want to be recognized? Who doesn't want to feel like, wow, this person sees me other than just an estate agent? I'm a human being, they have feelings, and they connect with me on that basis. So I feel like if somebody's doing an amazing job, make them aware that they will go that extra mile for you. Especially in the UK, I have an amazing estate agent who, with my JV group, House Investments, this woman is phenomenal. Anything that you need, anything you want, she is sending somebody out within the hour, or she's onto it. And through that, like I said, we sent her flowers, we sent her just an appreciation for everything she's done. So I feel that's really important.
Yeah, that's I'd say really lucky, but obviously you're cultivating that relationship as well. So there's an element of you putting in that effort there, that emotional bank account type of thing.
Yeah,
So building
yeah.
up the credits there. And you mentioned just before about your JV partnership. So how has that worked? How did that come about?
Wow, I'm very proud of my JV group as House Investment. So we're an eclectic group, actually. We come from all parts of the world. I have Tom, we'll call my Chief Financial Officer. He's amazing. He's from Poland. Then we have Ria. She's like the level-headed, organizer of the group. And then she's from Greece. And then we have Mokhtar, who's from Egypt. And he's like the super skills negotiator. I think everyone brings an exciting part to the team. Everyone has works within a corporate role. So we all have different backgrounds, but we bring something really niche to the group. Number one is it's just a big respect for one another. We make sure that whenever we have meetings and we have to move with a new project, if one person doesn't agree, we don't move forward. It's that mutual respect that we have for each other. And that is one thing that I love, that is so diversified, but we have this common respect throughout. And I think, anybody starting a JV group, it's not easy because you can have different mindsets. But when you meet that, it's like the unicorn. I call this the unicorn group, to be honest, because like I said, we bring something really beautiful to the team. And I feel with myself, I'm like a go-getter. I like to go out and meet people and build those connections. I bring it to the group and everybody has their role to play. So this for me is a truly special team.
Okay, so so just so we're clear, you guys come together, you're all investing money into the pot, and is everyone investing money, or is there some people investing like skill sets or time or resources, or is it kind of an equal base of investment and then anything on top of that is a bonus? And how did you meet these people?
Do you know what? That's what I love about Dubai. Dubai is a place where it's like a melting pot of so many different cultures. Like I swear, my neighbors, you got everyone from England to Jordan to Lebanon to wherever, all parts of the world. But I met them actually through a friend of mine, and we just got talking about property. And Tom actually was the real go-getter of the group. He did the Kevin Green studies, and I was like, okay, this is really interesting. I think if we could take this further, and we actually all contributed to the pot with our own money, and from that we've created this great amount where we could just invest, and we just bought several properties. We did the BRR strategy, and we have quite a few properties in Wales, some in Blackpool, and you know what, like I said, it's just really refreshing to know that we can all contribute in a great way. And now that we've done this, we're just pushing forward with new strategies all the time. So
yeah, I mean, this is quite an unusual way of investing with with a few people together in this way. It's not very common in the UK. But how do you split the roles? I mean, for most people who do joint ventures with one person, it's enough of a headache trying to manage, everything, the time, the personality differences, etc. So how do you divide up the roles and make it clear what everyone's doing?
I think before we got into this property journey, we became really good friends. And so I think, of course, some people, they start a JV, they're not necessarily a good friend with that person, but we started as just friendship. So we got to know each other. We got to understand each other's personalities, what works for each other, even everyone's schedules. I mean, Tom is in Saudi Arabia. I'm here. Ria's in Greece. Mokhtar's in Abu Dhabi. So, we make that time like, okay, guys, are you free at this time? Yes, I'm free. Okay, let's have a chat. So, of course, there may be one time that one person's not able to attend the meeting, but we give feedback and we send each other, like we have a fantastic system where everybody's in touch with each other. And having that, just this openness, just allows us for better communication.
So
like 100%.
In terms of, so I'm guessing then all the properties are fully managed by agents wherever they are, and then is there much to do for you all? I mean, like, who sorts out the tax and or you just do your own tax, or decision making? I guess you do make decisions at the meetings, but
Yeah, we make decisions when it comes to like moving forward with our projects, but that's the important thing of building that ground team, that power team, so to speak.
Yeah.
When you have that in place and you have people who can run it smoothly for you, it just takes that pressure off, knowing that I've got that all organized, we vetted that, that's running so smoothly. Okay, in the beginning, it came with a few hiccups. We had to go through a few estate agents to really understand like who works well for us and who's going to be we can rely on. So we've had to go through those hoops as a team, and that's the beauty of property. There's always something to learn, and not only are you just growing your own portfolio and learning about that, but you're growing within yourself as a person. And I feel like we've grown massively as a team through all the hoops that we had to get through. But yeah, it's just having those solid people on the ground, and that's helped us every step of the way.
And what would you look for now? So let's say for somebody looking to build a power team, what have you learned that you would, if things didn't work out with your current agent for whatever reason, you had to find a new one, what is your criteria now that makes, that you would be able to say, okay, this is definitely the person we want to move forward with?
Before I answer that question, I just want to say, like, what people really need is a mentor. like honestly, I'm so privileged to have had a great mentor to guide me. Actually, Judy Talbot. She's had an incredible success with living abroad and growing a property portfolio. So I took her as a mentor, and that for me, just having that, not because knowledge is power, it really, really is, and investing in yourself and having that mentor to guide you, because they've been through it all, they've experienced that. So it teaches you what to avoid, but also how to really grow within yourself. So I would say my number one tip is get a mentor to like push you. But like you said, with estate agents, if you have that, my thing is join as many property network groups as you can and just learn from other people's experiences. That's what I do. I go to 2 property network events here. I join it religiously. Even if I'm tired after work, I go, because the connections I make is fundamental to me growing. And also, not only my own company, which is Protea Venture Limited, but also my JV group. So, you take that knowledge and you're getting recommendations from others. And this is how you build that up. So it might not just be through estate agents. Through my property network, I've met an insane project manager, Stephen, and he has really been somebody I can rely on. And we have this beautiful business relationship that if I have any questions or if I have any doubts, etc., he's there whenever, to answer that for me. So I'm very privileged and grateful to have recommendations, also to build those relationships.
Right. Okay. And so let's talk a bit more about mentoring then. And how did you find your mentor? What made you kind of go with this person rather than somebody else? And how have you found that process? When did you start as well?
I actually started with Julie in November last year. I had this epiphany. I was working like 15 hours, and I just had the moment where, like, oh my gosh, I need more time freedom. I need more location freedom. And it's, sometimes, whatever you put out there, it goes into the universe. But like, I was going through my social media, and then I get this little ping, like, do you want location freedom and time freedom? And then I read about her profile, and she was also living in Abu Dhabi. So she was also within my property network, and I've been following her for a while. But it was at that exact moment that I realized, my gosh, I need that. I need to invest in myself so I can understand it a bit more. And she's been phenomenal. Her main thing is like building your machine. How do you make the cogs turn in this property machine of yours? What do you need? So it's creating your blueprints and following through the strategies, and she's there as well. Any issues is there to kind of like guide you every step of the way. So having her as a mentor and also doing it from abroad was just for me the greatest incentive to move forward with her. And unfortunately, I've just finished my last session with her this week. So I'm really going to miss it. But I've learned not only about myself, but it's just created this fire within me, the spark to to know that anything is possible. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter where you are. You can make the dream work if you want it.
Well, sounds really inspiring and great to, as you say, you've got somebody who is in the position you want to be in, like investing from abroad with more experience. So great to be able to learn from her. And then obviously you've got the properties that you're just buying in Liverpool at the moment. And I know you're working with Julia Maurice in terms of the design aspect of that. And why did you choose to kind of look at the design element from the beginning of a project?
Because I had zero creativity when it comes to property design. I didn't really think much about it. I feel like from our own personal projects, the idea of design is overwhelming. It's like a deer in the headlights. So I needed someone to kind of hold my hand, in a sense, to guide me through every step of the way. And it's just been eye-opening, completely eye-opening. It's like understanding, the principles of design and breaking down each step of what makes a property stand out from the rest, and also to stand the test of time, because that's exactly what I want. I want a property, I don't want to have to renovate it every 4 years, or I want it to last 20 years if I need to, and maybe do a few repairs here and there. So I found, doing total design with Julian, and you being on there as well, Michelle, every step of the way, and Rich, it's been fantastic as well to go on this adventure of design. I'm learning about layouts. Like yesterday, I was there 2.5 hours. We are doing our layouts together, understanding the electrical design, and I was there in awe, because I thought, oh wow, this is how you do it all. It was just giving me so much just excitement to really see my project come alive. And it's not just working on the aesthetics, but it's the functionality of how design really works, and it's taking it like another step. So if anybody could invest again in something amazing, it's total design with YPN and Julia Morris. It's just been fantastic.
It's just a huge mindset shift, isn't it, to look at the project in a very different way from the beginning. Like usually people think about design at the very end, and you're thinking about the colors and the aesthetics of what staging materials put in, but very rarely people think about it from the beginning and actually plan it into how the space is going to be used as well. So it's a skill set that you'll take on to all of the your next projects as well. And how has it kind of made you think about how your guests are going to use the space? Has it kind of brought that to the front of your mind of their experience, I guess?
Yes, 100%. I mean, you need to know who your target market are. And I've done like a feasibility report of, what do people, looking at the area, what do people want, and what could my house bring to them? So like I just mentioned, you want the functionality. You don't want people to feel bothered when they come to your home and they can't find the light switches. That's something that it never really occurred to me until I started this. I was like, gosh, it's something so basic, but it's something that is incredibly, it's needed in the design of your home. How things are laid out. You don't want your guests to be leaving your home and feeling disgruntled and go, I don't want to go back there because it just wasn't practical. It just wasn't laid out properly for me. So that's one element I truly really liked about it. And also, I wanted to feel like a home away from home. So as soon as they walk through the door, it's like, I can leave, if it's a contract, I can leave work behind me for the day. And I feel like when I go to that room, or I go to the living room and everything's set up, I can relax playing on the PlayStation, or, I can watch a great movie, or I can move upstairs to my room and everything is where it needs to be and it's practical. That is exactly what I want to achieve. And I feel like as the total design course is unfolding, it's painting the bigger picture for me. And I'm so excited to be taking it further with the rest of my property portfolio as it grows.
Absolutely. So these properties are in Liverpool, the ones you're using for the programme. So how has it been are these your first properties in the UK?
No, I mean, apart from my JV group, it's my own personal properties. I've started on my own business. The properties I have in my JV group are based mostly in Wales. I have another one in Blackpool. So for me, I decided to invest in Liverpool. And it's crazy. I haven't actually set foot in Liverpool. So it's one of the things like, you know, one giant leap for mankind type thing. So it's just, you know, of course, I'm putting myself in a position of like, this is pretty crazy, but at the same time, it's crazy, challenge, beautiful, you know, with all these adjectives. But you know, what I like about it is I have my sister. She's going to study Liverpool. She's an interior designer herself. So I do have like family on the ground. If anything has to happen, I have that one person there. But Liverpool for me was just a great place to invest. Not only is it my money stretches further, I see potential in it. I see the amount of investment that's coming from the government, and you know, looking at the certain areas. I have one that's actually not far from the new Everton Stadium that's being built, and then I have another one in St Helens where the government's just plowed in so much money to regenerate the whole entire town. So you know, I'm looking for places that might not be the best hotspot now, but I'm looking towards the future, because that is where it is understanding where, you know, how the government are putting money in, or new developments. And that's also something that has guided me within my mentorship, is look beyond the present. So what does the future hold for these places?
Yeah, it's so important. And as you say, the money stretches further now, but hopefully in 10 years' time, you know, there'll be more appreciation, capital appreciation there for you. And growing with the city as well. So, and how have you found the actual process of purchasing these two properties on your own, and working with getting new contractors in place and just like getting the ball rolling, I suppose? Did you have to start, obviously you started from scratch building a team within Liverpool, within the area, like how did you, was it just kind of online forums again?
Yeah, actually it was. I think I'm part of, you know, this is also another thing in my mentorship I have to bring in. Julie was like, be part of as many communities as you can, because that's where you're gonna meet people who know what they're doing. Contractors within the town, you know, they're going to advertise for their services and again recommendations from other people. But yeah, I did actually I got it from online forums, but also the property networking groups. You know, I think the biggest challenge for me being abroad and getting started is mortgages. That's been, I think, the biggest challenge, because you might have, you know, if you're based in the UK, I have 200 mortgage lenders, and they're like, yes, they just want to like, you know, come to me, but I had 3. So, you know, that's really severely limited where I am. So of course, beggars can't be choosers. So doing my due diligence, I was like, this is crazy. I can't find somebody who wants to lend with me, or it's astronomical rates that I got quoted 10% from one lender. And I thought, okay, that's not really going to be feasible. But then going to a property network meeting, I met one gentleman who, and I asked him, like, do you know any amazing mortgage advisors who's able to, like, you know, that you work with? And he said, yes, this is this one guy, and he passed me his details. And now I got a fantastic rate. And this is all done through like the connections. Yeah. So it's been, you know, it's so powerful to meet like-minded people who have been through that person and recommended them to you. But yeah, go back.
I think what's just coming out loud and clear is it's all about people, it's all about who you know, and it just, you know, property for some people is about the bricks and mortar, it's about the numbers, but it's very clear that you're making it work because of the connections that you've made and who you know, and having
Absolutely.
that support on the ground.
Absolutely. Yeah, even like I said with you know, going back to the power team, having a project manager who, you know, has reliable builders in place anyway, and vetting them and speaking to them and having the online Zoom meetings, you get such a there's a lot of not just only clarity, but it just gives you that comfort to know that what you've made this machine really start moving now by just having everything in place.
So what's next? How are you, what's the next couple of years look like for you?
Well, I think, Dubai is really booming at the moment. It was listed as the #1 destination in the world for tourists. So, I'm looking into, growing a portfolio here as well, because it has fantastic potential. But also, I want to keep pushing within the Liverpool area and growing that. So I think one step at a time. What I did is I came out of my mentorship and I was like, okay, I'm ready for the challenge. And then I bought 2 properties within a week. So I feel like, okay, wow, this is quite a task. I remember Julian saying to me, Darcy, one thing at a time, but I was like, okay, I put my eggs all in one basket, but it's working for me. It's working because, I've got that machine rolling and I've got the things in place, and it's made a big difference and not allowed my brain to be completely cloudy, and just moving forward with it. So exciting.
There's definitely something about just the momentum of taking action, and and then you can adjust later on, but actually getting started, it makes it all real, makes all of the learning real. You get stuck in, and then next time if you want to do something different you can, but it's as long as you think you've done due diligence beforehand and it washes its face and you're making some money from it, it doesn't have to be the deal of the century. I think a lot of people just get stuck trying to tick too many boxes from one property. It has to have the capital appreciation, it has to have the cash flow, it has to have certain tenants, all of this, and then you just get stuck and overwhelmed, and they're just paralyzed by the sort of indecision of it all. So it's great to see that you've just put a stake in the ground, got stuck in, got on with it, and making it happen. So well, it'd be great to actually have you back in later on in the year and see how you kind of got on with this Liverpool project, and how it's been kind of on your own, like managing and getting set up. Obviously service accommodation is a different strategy, and how that operates on a day-to-day. There's more things to do and oversee. So yeah, it'd be really interesting to see.
Yeah, I'm excited. Let's see what the future holds. But I'd be super excited to do this again, and I'm really grateful, to meet you and just to be inspired. It's probably just an inspiration learning from others.
Oh, well, you're inspiring us. It's incredible to just see you getting on with it from abroad and just making these things happen and making decisions, and it's just super inspiring. So thank you so much for your time, and we're looking forward to watching what's next.
Pleasure. Yes, okay, part 2 coming up.
For anyone who is not yet a subscriber of the magazine, please click the link in the show notes for your free 30-day trial, and we look forward to seeing you next time, guys. Take care for now.